pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his first pass is incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
What we got? At the 28-yard line. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Target.
Throwing on 2nd down. Ryan. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards there on a Falcon 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that that carries over to this week as well.
Let's go.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Linval Joseph breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Ryan, and they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did. And that's caught inside the 30. They'll get 34 yards there.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. 2nd and 5 now. Ryan, it's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 yards on the play, first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Smith is the lone man in the backfield here as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Now on 2nd and 16, Cousins, and he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
A first scoring update now from Carolina. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And you can see it, as many of you know, they have clinched the NFC South, but as it stands, Charles, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend.
Remember the days when there were jokes about the NFC South, about how volatile division it was, that you can go from worst to first just about every year, and stats actually proved that out. But in recent years, if you come out of the NFC South, that's a Super Bowl contender. I mean, in the past couple of seasons, Carolina came out of the South, Atlanta came out of the South, so look out.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch that in. Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta's second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Completes it to Fitzgerald.
We got this.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Ryan to the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons push further out in front. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Extra point try good by Gano, and it's now 14-0. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down now, it's Cook. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. But it's going to be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with.
But I think the ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Looking in zone for Jones. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On first down, Freeman. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. On 2nd and 15 now. Ryan, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On now, Graham Gano. He's hit from 63 as recently as last year. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that right there is something we've seen, I don't know, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. 12 yards there and a first down. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Grady Jarrett able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Now Cousins.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 31-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Cousins now. That's to Cook out of the backfield. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cousins. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, third down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. On the ground, it's Cook. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Cousins to throw it. Got an open man, Keelan Cole. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly... And just like that, on we head to half... Number 2. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Elsewhere, a score update from New Orleans, and the Bucs are out to an early lead. Jameis Winston with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. On second down and 4, Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 46 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 24. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. From the 30 on second down, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Cousins now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far, 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. A good pickup. They get 8, but it's 3rd down now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he'll be brought down with the first. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Trying to go back again to Adam Thielen. And now it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cook. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Throwing is Cousins. They set up the screen to Hill. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
A tough run gets him just inside the 10. Into the 9, but no further. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Here's Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful at getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Let's go. Let's go.
Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him.
He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Falcons push further out in front. We've seen these two, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, connect quite a few times over the years. It never gets old.
It never gets old. Well, maybe for the defense it does, but not for us who are watching it. And Julio, every time he steps on the field, you can just about mark him down for 100 yards. That's about his career average per game. But think about this. Getting in the end zone has always been a struggle for him. He gets the big yardage, but he doesn't get the touchdowns. Not this time. No matter how many people were kicked in coverage, he found a way to beat it.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Off the draw, here's Hill. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Going again on the ground here with Hill. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. Only person happy now, the punter. Gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good, and I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And incomplete. Now they fade. It's a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working out of the gun, Cousins. It's caught, Mitchell. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A pretty large mental mistake right there to give them the first.
It's situational football, and you have to know you're down in distance. On that 4th down, any type of penalty would give them a first down, so you can't jump off sides. You can't encroach. You've got to be careful.
Now Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. They'll throw again. Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
But look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And look at this. The punt team is out there. Somebody better give them the memo that it's 2nd down. Now punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Throwing, Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it'll bring up third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They'll get 6 on the dump-off, but it'll bring up a 4th down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
First down. Here's Cousins. The throw taken in by Cole. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43.
You see me out here?
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. This throw to the middle, taken in by Cole. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And the Falcons grab it, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Like 25. Hey, watch out. 22.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. It's Hill. Complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
59, Mike, check, 59. Coming to you,
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And some room to maneuver. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds Fitzgerald. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Julio Jones, the lone receiver, left. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point try, good by Gano. They're on to the 4th quarter now, by the way, at Bank of America Stadium in Carolina. Chargers have scored again, so they are really opening it up. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. And out now come the Vikings. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. They complete it to Hill. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll try and run for it with Hill. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Atlanta, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the rough season continues as they plunge to 1-13. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire